What I've really noticed over time is my ability to manage stress is so much better, doing heat exposure, cold exposure, specifically those two modalities, that I just don't feel nearly as stressed out as I used to. And stress is something that creeps up in all of our lives. All of us have bad days. All of us have, massive to-do lists, and, we're just bombarded. And, as soon as I do my sauna and cold plunge routine in the afternoon or early evening, all of those stressors are wiped away. And there's definitely something to it where, you have this adaptation from subjecting yourself to these good stressors so that when the bad stressors creep up, they don't knock you off your rocker.
Totally. And I think that's the key point of I think the term stress comes with a lot of negative connotations now in our society. And I would caveat it to say sort of chronic distress is what we're trying to get away from, right? That sort of subtle underlying level of anxiety and sort of stress that causes negative emotions for us. In order to create health, I would argue, and any positive adaptations for our bodies, we actually do have to subject ourselves to some level of stress and call it discomfort, right? Like cold therapy, it's not comfortable when you're in there. You get better at it over time, right? Your body adapts to it. But I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable experience, but it's more the gains that you realize after that, right? By subjecting yourself to that, micro or sort of deliberate discomfort is really, as we think about proactive health, what does that mean? You have to be deliberate and intentional with those discomforts that you expose yourself to in order to advance, in order to adapt in ways that are meaningful to you, both physically, emotionally, psychologically. And I think we need to do a better job of educating people how to do that and giving them the supports and the team and the tools to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think associating it to exercise. Obviously, exercise is oftentimes uncomfortable in the moment.
It's a prime example.
Yeah, and that afterwards you're going to feel so much better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more mental clarity. You're not going to have a lull in the afternoon. And I think it's kind of comparing some of these things, the stress from exercise, the stress from these recovery, even though it's called recovery protocols, is very similar.
But they still cause a stress.
Yeah, and the feeling afterwards.
Right? They still cause a stress. Heat therapy causes a stress. We call it, it's an exercise mimetic in a lot of ways, right? Your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate goes up, your levels of inflammation go up temporarily, right? And if that's what exercise does. And so if you ever told anybody you're going to do something that you're going to jack up people's blood pressure and you're going to cause them inflammation, they'd be crazy. I don't want to do that. That sounds unhealthy for me, but that's what exercise does, right? And so it's limited, it's deliberate, so that we cause our body to learn how to adapt to that over time. And that is ultimately what, I would argue increases people's healthy life. That's how you expand that.